The 7th gen Toyota Celica GT was at the time one of its most affordable performance cars you could get on the market, and to this day still one of the most fun to drive. With its classy streamlined look and a big fat wing, it is the most reliable Japanese car for the most affordable price that you can get. Super fun, and it will snap necks. Hi, I'm that car chick, and today we are going to be doing a review of my Toyota Celica GT, which I'm in a lot of debt for. Let's get into it. Starting out with the overall look of this car, I think it is an absolute sex machine, and it snaps necks like nothing else. With its streamlined front bonnet and a nice big hood scoop for that extra engine cooling, it is performance like no other. Of course, you need that downforce on the rear as well. That's why you got that big fat wing, because this thing produces a whopping 189 horsepower, being only a 1.8-litre engine. And with its engine capacity to horsepower ratio, this car was up there with the Ferraris and other supercars in its time. On the market at the moment for really good condition, with around 100,000 miles, they go for between £4,500 to £6,500 on average. Featuring the facelift version on this car, it's got the air intake grille here, the cute little badge here, and it's also got this giant grille bit, which is mostly for cooling down the radiator. It's also got 2 fog lights and of course headlights, because it's a car. Coming around this side, we have these stunning 19-inch alloys. Ignore the fact that they are dirty as anything. I literally did clean the car not even that long ago. This is my daily, so I drive it every day to work and back, so it's got dirty quick. Stunning 19-inch alloys that are supposed to be silver, but they're kind of black at the moment. Ignore that. Nice streamlined back with a nice big wing as well, and an actually decent size spacious boot. Not only is it a nice car to drive, it is also quite practical and good for a daily. And coming round to the very front, this is what everyone wants to see. We're going to dive into the engine. With a nice spotless VVT-Li engine, this thing is no far from a small beast. Now, VVT-Li, what that stands for is the variable valve timing with lift and intelligence, because this car is just insanely smart and incredibly powerful for its 1.8-litre capabilities. Producing a whopping 189 brake horsepower and 133 foot-pounds of torque at 6,800 RPM. This thing is a beast, and it goes from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 6.9 seconds. Well, that is what the official statistics say, but I'm pretty sure this car is capable of a lot quicker than 6.9 seconds. So not only does this have pretty smart variable valve timing and adjusts, of course, the timing of the valves, it also has lift, and what that means is it lifts the valves lower away from the seat so that more air and fuel can go into the cylinders. So that's why when you get to that 6,000 RPM, you can really feel the boost kick in, and that is where the peak horsepower is at. So this is a beautiful, naturally aspirated 4-cylinder inline engine. So I will show you what this sounds like later on, but let's get to the inside. This is where the driver spends most of your time, obviously. So inside you have these beautiful half Alcantara leather, half leather seats with beautiful red stitching and a nice little logo here that says GT. You got these sports style, kind of bucket style seats, except they are comfortable, and you know, you can adjust it for when you need to. I'm lonely anyway. So if you are any taller than probably 5'5", you are screwed, because the ceilings in this car are very low. I mean, I'm 5'3", and I'm nearly I need to put my seat down. It's all the way down, and I'm still nearly touching the ceiling. So if you are any taller, this car is probably not for you, unfortunately. Too much weight, you know, this is all about weight reduction in this car. You got a beautiful leather steering wheel with a nice Toyota badge in the middle. You have all of your light controls here as you need them. If you don't wear your seatbelt, it's not going to beep at you. I mean, I always wear my seatbelt, but if you don't, it's not going to beep at you because it doesn't care. You've also got all of your wiper controls here. All your wiper controls right here. You got a lovely mirror here, 2 little mirror things to check myself out in. You have a nice little bit of storage here where I always put my phone and hide my snacks and coffee. You have your stereo here, except I have put in an uprated stereo because the original stereo sounds terrible, is crap. One of the worst things about this car is the stereo. I don't think I've seen a single Celica that still has the original stereo in it. I do have it upstairs, but I have put in a nice Sony just because it sounds better, and it has Bluetooth. Who doesn't like Bluetooth in this day and age? No Apple CarPlay, but I'm old school, so I ain't bothered about that. You have all of your temperature controls here and a nice little useless bit of storage there. Oh, it also comes out, so if you want to pass candy to kids on the street. Oh, is that an ashtray? You learn something new every day. This is an ashtray for you avid smokers out there. You got a little ashtray here because obviously everyone back in the day would smoke like crazy, and you also have the no touchy thing. I learned my lesson the hard way. If you give it a good Oh no. That is now hot and ready for all you smokers out there. I love old school technology. It's sick. It also has all of your air vents here, which are really cute. Got a nice little clock here as well. Who doesn't like a clock, so I can keep looking at the time and see how long it takes me to get back from work. You've got a nice little glove box compartment here with my Aldi receipt because I'm broke. This is technically a 4-seater car, but if you look in the rear, I have moved my chair very far forward because I have really short legs. And as you can see, there is still very limited space in the rear. So actually, this is technically supposed to be a 2-seater. They only made it a 4-seater. I'm pretty sure it was for insurance reasons. So if you do want a nice 3-door car that is going to impress your friends and turn next, this is the one. And now we're going to sit here and wait for it to warm up so I can then go take it on a little spin so you guys can hear what the engine sounds like, what it drives like, and obviously we're going to be doing this on private roads, sticking to speed limits. This car, of course, also features a 6-speed close ratio gearbox, meaning that when you change gears, you're not losing that much performance in it. Being a front-wheel drive car, this thing also has insane handling, and of course, as you are on a stiffer sport suspension, this thing takes corners like nothing else. It is sweet. It plants itself to the ground. This thing is insane. It is a perfect little track car, perfect starter car if you want something with a little bit of performance and a little bit of oomph. And being a performance car as well, it has an insanely sensitive steering wheel because it does have a performance steering rack. So I can feel any stone. I can feel stones on the floor. And also being a performance car, if you can't tell by the shaking of the camera, of course, where it has a sport suspension, this isn't the comfiest car to have as a daily. Anytime you go over a pothole, it sounds like I've just been shot up my bum hole. I clench every single time I go over a pothole that I don't see and I can't miss. It just hurts. It sounds like the whole car is falling apart when really it isn't. Okay, and now we're gonna go for a 0 to 60. So when the road is clear, I'm gonna completely stop. Okay, ready? 3, 2, go. It is quite sluggish on the starts. There we are, 60 miles an hour. Let's get it bounced off that limiter. Where it's naturally aspirated, it is quite slow in the lower ranges, which is the only downside of this engine, is the fact that it is quite slow and sluggish in its lower ranges. But once it gets to about 4, 4.5 and above, it does pick up, and then obviously once it gets to 6,000 where the lift kicks in, that is where the peak power is at. But if you want a fun car that is super nice to handle, just plants itself to the floor, and is a perfect first performance car, you can't go wrong with the Celica. Okay, so because the audio I don't think sounded the best when I was driving it, I'm just going to show you what it sounds like static because I don't have the best equipment. So I put the microphone on the exhaust. I'm going to give it a nice little rev so you can hear what it sounds like. One foot. That is what this beauty sounds like bouncing off the limiter. Okay, and now I'm going to try and get the audio from the engine because it wasn't successful really on the drive. Thank you very much for tuning into this video, and I hope you enjoyed the review of my car. Just before we do go, I do want to also make a little bit of an announcement. I have started to make clothing as well because I don't know if it is just me. Trying to find car-themed clothing can honestly sometimes be a mission. This is the first design here that I have actually been wearing for this entire video. So up close here, we have the nice little That Car Chick logo. We got my logo on the chest piece here. Okay, and this is the back piece here. We have a nice little car that is just drifting. We've got the nice Japanese sunset. There is a few little tweaks that I do have to make to the design, but other than that, it is a completed design, and I will publish it on a website that I need to still create. It might still be quite a bit of time before this is actually published, but this is what the design looks like. Thank you very, very much for all of your support over the year. I hope you have an amazing 2025, and I hope you will be enjoying all the content that I have planned to release. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time, but for now, peace.